Good morning, Zodiac. Welcome to the Soul Family Read. Get this right. This is for the 24th of August. Using the Ethereal Tarot deck today. Put a little energy on it. Quiet morning here. I'm quiet. A little bit of allergies. But enjoying being able to sit outside on the deck here. Hopefully it'll stay quiet for a minute and get this done so early. Gets noisy. Starting about 8 o'clock here. We got construction across the street. Be glad when that's over. Okay. Constructions. Everything's part of the reading. Soul family, we're constructing. Try to shuffle these. They're hard for me to shuffle. I like them because they're big, but they make it hard to shuffle. Get some more energy on them. I don't really have a theme for today. It's Tuesday. Nuts and bolts yesterday. Let's just see what Spirit has to tell us here. In the name of light, love, so it serves our greatest good. What can Spirit tell us, our soul family here, around love and relationships? I think guides are important. That's something that's been coming up a lot lately. In my dreams, tarot I listen to. I don't read for myself, but I kind of include myself in this reading. It's a little tricky. I just jumped on that advice from the beginning. Don't read for yourself. I have Taurus in the 9th house. So it's kind of dogmatic around tarot. That's how it expresses. It's strange because I'm not dogmatic about anything. But like I'm funny about my cards and take extra care. You know, that kind of a Taurus in the 2nd house in terms of put it in the 9th house, which is religion and spirituality. It becomes like you like icons. And the funny thing is, I've always felt that I was the one. It was like my job to knock over the sacred icons. Like I felt like I couldn't pass by a temple without at least going through the effort, you know, for the good of all, to go over there and knock over those icons, you know. So yeah, I'd say it's a little tricky for me. But here we are. Wow, this is us with the energy of the Tower. Where we are in and around relationships, where our mind is at, where our heart is at. You know, this doesn't have to be horrible here. And I don't think this is about a relationship breakup right now. It's about belief systems. Let's talk about that, belief systems. And this is where our guides and angels can come in too. Because we, you know, there's a joke. Who was the comedian, darn, I can't think of his name, but he said like religion's like a crutch, you know. If you break your foot or something, you need it, and you pull it out of the closet, and you need it very badly. But when your foot's better and you don't pay as much attention to it, you forget about it, stays in the closet. So this is something that makes us aware of kind of who we are and where we are. And something gets shook up, I think. I think having to do with our belief structure, something we've been holding on to. It's something necessary. That's the thing with the Tower. After that, we continue on our way to get the world, but something has to be broken up and left behind, and it's something internal here. This is not about another person. This has nothing to do with another person. This is something inside of us, okay, guys? Wow, the Emperor. Now this is what's crossing us. So this is something to do with ego. Because this is the Aries card, and this is ego, and this is Mars, and this is in what's crossing us and what's blocking us. So we're clamping down and being rigid around something. That's maybe what's causing this Tower here. Let's call it a Tower moment. I think it's what this is. You know, this could be, you know, Uranus is now retrograde finally, and that's kicking in hard. And that's, I think, where a lot of these revelations are coming from for many people. wherever Taurus is in your chart, it'll indicate. So it's been a lot of spiritual stuff for me. But I think this is internal, and it's something we've been resisting, and we're resisting it probably because of our ego. With the Emperor, it's deep down it could be a fear, because if we fear something, we resist it, and we might put up but this is an active energy of like, fuck you. This is like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's almost as if Spirit's talking to you and trying to reason with you about something and saying, you need to let go of this idea that, this could even be an idea that you're not as good as other people, ironically, I think. Even though this is the Emperor, you would think it's the opposite, or maybe it is, where you feel like you're better than everyone deep down. And Spirit's coming in and just consider, that you're not, or that you're not less than anyone, you're not more than anyone. All sentient creatures deserve to have love and happiness, and you're resisting that somehow. It's an example. It's something internal that we're resisting. It's kind of out of ego and wanting to have control. That's another theme. In terms of our manifestation and everything, it's if it isn't here yet, or it isn't, you don't have your arms around it yet, whatever that manifestation is, probably around love and this site, my group, but this could also be around, career, particularly if you love your work. Venus can become work if you love your work, because it's a relationship you have, and it is the 7th house too. Contracts usually making work, but it would be you trying to resist this change, what it is, and it's this could even be something like, you want to stop smoking, to be on the most literal level, and this is like you saying, no, I'm not going to stop smoking. A lot of times you take up that habit in adolescence, and it's part of the ego, because it's part of like how you identify with other people, and I'm the cool person and I smoke, and maybe that's, as an example, not what you want to let go of, and then the Tower's coming in and you stop, maybe because your lover says, if you don't stop smoking, I'm leaving you, or maybe the doctor says, if you don't stop smoking, you've got signs of, you could have emphysema, as an example. And this is you definitely saying, like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Because in this case, this is what's crossing you. You do not want to keep doing it. You do not want to be stubborn in this case. Now, Page of Swords. And this person's looking back at you at the reading. And this is your advice from Spirit. This could literally be, right now, this reading, if I read myself into it, because the Page of Swords is a message from someone. And this is not a big, heavy thing. This is the energy of, I think what Spirit's trying to tell you is someone's going to come in and say something. Could be a younger person. Could just be not a big deal. It could be one of those things that's a little thing in and of itself, but that Uranus, again, energy is pulsing and erratic, but it's the pulses of genius, pulses of insight, pulses of epiphany that come in, and it could be triggered by just this littlest thing. That in and of itself, maybe it's not a big deal. I'm trying to think of an example, but somebody just says something to you that's even trying to be funny, and then you kind of realize, oh my God, that's so true, and maybe it's in relation to what's going on. And something you're being called on to give up here. The Tower's coming because you won't move on. You won't give up something that's not in your best interest. And it's really the universe kind of having mercy on us, I think, at some point, and saying, okay, we're going to make this happen now. So I'd keep an eye out. I mean, this could be a dream, that little snippet that you wake up with. And you just remember, like when I do my dream journal, I write down 1 or 2 words from the dream. Because I don't want to wake up. I have a hard time sleeping as it is. But if I don't write down 1 or 2 words, I get nothing. But if I write those down and look at them in the morning, bam, the whole thing comes back. So it could be something like that. This little thing that actually triggers this epiphany, this realization that is about this letting go that you're not doing here. And 7 of Pentacles for the outcome. I should have called this reading the nuts and bolts. We go to the bottom of the deck at the end here. But Seven of Pentacles. So I think like this is you thinking about all of this, the Seven of Pentacles. It's like you're here in the near future. You still haven't got the epiphany because you're really looking at that. And you're like counting and you're thinking to yourself, you know, all the days I worked into the dark even and up early in the morning and all the sweat and effort for months on end. And here's what I got from it. Is it really worth it? Is this a good harvest? And you don't really know. You're trying to figure it out, you know, so it's not something that's obvious, you know. If it was a really shitty harvest, you'd just be going, oh, this sucks, you know. Or if it was really a boom, you'd be like thinking, wow. But here, you're really trying to decide. So it's really, with Pentacles, carefully looking at something. Now, with the overall energy here, I'm going to go to last, because here we have the Eight of Swords, which I figure heavily in this read. And the Eight of Swords is the overall energy, is what's triggering this Tower. So this is definitely about you being stuck in your head and going around and around about something that you probably know you need to let go of, okay? But you're stubbornly hanging on to it for some reason. And I'm just thinking, like, when we hang on to something like this, you know, the ego's got a job to do. The ego's job is to keep us alive. You know, if we meet adversity, if we meet failure, the ego's job is to step in there and all of the, what the psychologists call the problems, you know, that we might do, projection and avoidance and all of that, is the ego's way of protecting us so that we can just survive. And so it's attached to the ego that's in this Tower. I think whatever it is, we won't let go. So it's like this is some kind of wrestling match with yourself. You know, it's just like I told you at the beginning, it's all about you. It has nothing to do with another person here at all. You may have another person, you may not. That's not the issue. It's something inside of you. This Page of Swords, air, you know, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. It could be in your own chart. It could be in your person. I got a feeling this is a person, okay? This page. This is someone that you know. It may be casually, even that you know. It could be even an acquaintance. You know, could be a kid. You know, the kid comes up and says something cutesy. And how many times does that blow your mind? You know, because they come from such a pure, innocent place. But that kind of energy. So I see you. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I see you kind of struggling with this, really. But it's got your attention. I mean, if you made it this far through the reading, comment. You know, I love to get people's comments. Helps the channel if you comment. But and maybe sometimes just get it out. Look, ain't that many people watching, and I don't judge. Personal readings, I don't tell. I don't judge. That's the thing. I work with a lot of people. I've made. Here's the thing with me. I've made every fucking mistake you can make. Somebody said, well, what's your credentials? Well, my credentials are, I made every mistake you can make. Did you make every mistake that could possibly be made? I doubt it. But I have. And so, you know, this is you looking at it really hard, taking it really seriously. And it's a damn sight better than the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords are just going around and around in our head. And to move from that to actually looking at it realistically, making a realistic assessment of the situation, implies to me that you're about to make a decision with the Seven of Pentacles. And all of this, I think, is somehow with the Tower came down, your hand was forced in some way. You were forced really probably to get out of this energy of the Eight of Swords. Something, it's like someone, this is very much inside, being isolated. And this is like that John Prine song when he says, you know, and someone came along and said hello in there. When you're just all in your head, you think no one sees you. That one person comes along and says hello, and then you realize that you're seen and the jig is up. And then you maybe realize you have to make a move. Something like that, guys. But thank you. I do appreciate, if you haven't already, subscribe. Please share. You know people that maybe would like to be part of the soul family. Like some of the readings, the heart spreads. I'm going to start singles reading soon. Haven't figured out how exactly I want to do the singles. And I want it to really grab me by the heart because I'm really comfortable with the rest of these readings and committed to them. I don't feel that commitment with a singles reading yet. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.